pack-a-day smoker is likely to save over $1,000 a year. The Totally Wicked Tornado provides a storm of vapor. See it at totallywicked-eliquid.com. That's totallywicked-eliquid.com. Or call 888-761-9425. Get a 15% discount with promo code GCNLive. Go to totallywicked-eliquid.com or call 888-761-9425. That's 888-761-9425. Or online at totallywicked-eliquid.com. Totally Wicked e-liquid cigarettes, the next generation of alternative smoking.
This message starts with a great offer from Big Berkey Water Filters because we don't want you drinking dangerous water 1 minute longer. Right now, purchase any filter system from BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com to get your choice of 2 Berkey Sport bottles, a KDF shower filter, a set of fluoride filters, or our new sight glass spigot absolutely free. Why do this? Because over 60% of municipal water is fluoridated, and at less than 2 cents per gallon, Berkey Water Filters purify both treated and untreated water, removing dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and other contaminants. Big Berkey water filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, so they're perfect for rainwater collection systems and emergency preparedness. Remember, Big Berkey includes free shipping on every order over $50. And GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BIGBERKEY waterfilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call today 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Man, I could talk to Tarpley for 10 hours. We'll definitely have him back up soon to talk about what's happening domestically in this country. In 30 seconds, before we go to calls, Tarpley, what do you make of all the open announcements that, the government's going to be changing the internet, Google's going to be censoring alternative media for your own good, the FCC is going to take over the internet, and there is a kill switch for your own safety? I mean, are they really getting ready for full economic implosion?
It's perfectly possible. Now, obviously, one of the things Mubarak did was cutting off the internet, and that, for his purposes, that seems to have been effective. But of course, these are like weapons, right? They're in whose hands are they? The U.S. is preparing these things anyway. But now that that's been done against them, then they have an occasion to talk about it, right? To popularize this idea. So obviously we don't want that here.
But Webster, when you say U.S., you mean the banking cartel that's captured it?
Yes, the people who control the Obama regime, right? And this is Wall Street, as we've known. Obama's been a Wall Street puppet from the very beginning, and of course, large parts of the Republican Party are equally controlled by the Wall Street people. So this is obviously a danger. As long as you have the world descending into a depression, you're going to have these pressures towards authoritarian government, and we have to resist these. One of the things you see from Egypt is that the way to avoid this is to have some kind of political organization, and at least have people understanding what they need to do, so that they're not simply sitting ducks.
Exactly, and that's what I try to do here is to get people aware of how the world really works, so they can recognize it when they see it. Let's go to Joe in Pennsylvania. You're on the air, Joe. Thanks for holding.
Good afternoon, there, gentlemen. I've been paying attention to this all weekend, and I see a ray of hope and for the people and fear for the governments. The people, when they were rioting, the military, they were coming out and they were actually embracing the people, and they were like, we don't want to do this. It's what we're ordered to do. We're not going to hurt you. And it was like, Alex, when you talk a lot about, our military, if martial law in this country ever happen, would the military ever be able to go against the people? And I think the United States, the people here are watching very closely to see how the military are interacting with the people to see if they will.
Well, that is true, but the globalists would here have somebody shoot some of the military to then elicit them to attack the crowd. That's where false flags and staged events come in, and there's some evidence in the Egyptian papers that indeed somebody's trying to get the military and the people fighting to enrage the crowds even more, that provocateurs controlled by the West or by Mubarak are running around sabotaging things. Tarpley, what's your view on what Joe just brought up?
The difference is that the Egyptian army is a conscript army. It's based on a draft, and therefore it's not a bunch of professional killers. It's a bunch of draftees. So they're obviously not interested in shooting at the crowds, and why should they? Because it has very seldom come to such a point. In other words, the crowds have never been big enough or threatening enough. The exception is a group of gunmen tried to attack the Interior Ministry. That would be the Department of Justice, FBI, in our terms. And there was a gun battle, but that seems to have been done by the police. The Army leadership is loyal to Mubarak. He's a military guy himself. He's an Air Force pilot. The new vice president is an Air Force pilot. So the Army is now putting up these jersey walls around the main squares. They've taken a bunch of vehicles that have been burned, and they've made those into sort of barricades. So the Army seems to be, quietly, effectively calming things down. Just the fact that all these tanks came into the square seems to have had a calming effect on everybody. So fine. So
and our media spun it that the jets were there to menace the people, but the way that the Egyptian government was like, no, this is a symbol of unity, and the crowds cheered it. So a lot of strange dynamics. Joe, excellent point. I hope our military would behave like the Egyptian military, but who knows? We'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I've got a bunch of economic news, healthcare news, credit card rates going up to 59.9% news, Obama giving waivers now to members of Congress from the healthcare plan. That's all coming up. We're going to have Max Keiser on with us. And we'll continue with your calls for those that are patiently holding. But Patriot Poet in Michigan, you're on the air with Tarpley. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Jones, Mr. Tarpley. How are you today?
We're good. What's on your mind there, Patriot?
Okay. As far as the mass media, I noticed I watch CNN on in the mornings. I don't watch any television news per se.
But you watch CNN. What'd they say?
Well, they've been really pushing the visuals of the protesters burning things down, carrying guns, and showing how radical the protesters are. And somehow, I think this is a way of trying to push their propaganda on the American people as in reference, could this happen here? And maybe in a roundabout way, it's a way of keeping the fear factor running at full capacity. And in regards to the U.S., my question is, if they take away all the guns from legal, lawful, compliant gun owners, the only people that will have guns are the gangs, the drug dealers, the pimps, and the thieves.
No, I hear you, and I appreciate your call. It's a great point. Webster, how is the United States different because of the record ownership of guns for the establishment if they want to try some type of accelerated oppression or martial law scenario, which we know they've been preparing for? How will that wild card enter into things?
I'm not able to predict. I would just say to people, the possession of guns is fine, right? But the status quo, I suppose, is about right. But the idea that having a gun is a substitute for political action, this is a big mistake.
No, I agree. It becomes a political salve or a pillow where people don't go get involved because they can have their gun.
Stay home with your gun. No, that won't do it. Look, just in terms of the merit of the question, which I think is real, there's a lot of violence in this stuff, right? If you burn a bank in Greece, you're a war criminal. But if you burn down the Egyptian party headquarters, you're a hero of democracy. They burned the party headquarters. They burned a very large building. I'm not sure what it is, but it's about a 15-story, fairly modern building. Looks like, sort of concrete on the outside. All burned down. Lots of police stations burned down by these demonstrators, right? The vandalism at the Cairo Museum.
No, they're targeting the infrastructure for total takeover, and now the globalists admit. Shouldn't George Soros, he's been convicted in other countries, he's trying to subvert freedom in this country, he poses as a human rights activist. Isn't it time for Soros and a bunch of those Davos crooks to be arrested? And along what lines, Tarpley?
Hey, how about those Republicans, if they're worth anything, right? Our great heroes from the Tea Party who are now in the Congress. Why don't we get some hearings and drag in Soros and make him tell what he does, right? Because this example with El Baradei, this is a very good example. There are a lot of Republicans who don't like this international crisis group. The way they see it is they think that the international crisis group is anti-Israel. I don't think this is true. There's this guy Robert Malley, for example, right? The main thing is that these people go in there. In order to get anywhere in the Arab world, you got to put up an anti-Israeli facade, and then they begin to destabilize the countries. So why don't some of these Republicans invite Soros to testify in his international activities? Is he violating the the Logan Act, where you're making...
Yeah, but it's illegal on so many fronts to be funding private revolutions all over the world. It's illegal what Soros does.
Yes, I think it may well be. So it would be interesting to look into. But I think the point is that I don't see any attempt of the U.S. media to hype the violence, the arson, and the vandalism. I see the opposite. They try to tone that down, compared to Greece, where one bank burns and it's the end of the world.
Well, there's a lot of evidence that was staged. Tarpley, always amazing having you. Tarpley.net. Our websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Please stand by to join us later in the week, Tarpley, as things unfold. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
We'll be right back with Max Keiser. Transmission continues. Your phone calls and a blitz of news straight ahead.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lungs system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lungs system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lungs system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lungs system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or